decisions that we have made, some of the decisions that we've made this far. So the purpose of today's club assembly is to inform members of what we have done so far and where we are headed as a club. Why this is important is because, as is now very public, we are having our charter party on the 30th of July. Charter means our club will now be a fully fledged Rotary club with the benefits and the responsibilities of being Rotarians. I'll also cover that quite some bit on the slides. So the first thing is, why Rotary? So to just give a background of our club, so far we have 38 members, 38 charter members. But since we have our charter event end of July, we still have some time to get a few more members. But the membership so far is a mix of former Rotaract members. Rotaract is the younger version of Rotary. So former Rotaract members, current Rotaract members, means there are some members of Rotary Jabali who still belong to a Rotaract club. And then we also have fresh faces, people who have never been in Rotaract but want to join and are part of Rotary Jabali. So to ensure we are on the same page, the first 3-4 slides will be a few things about Rotary. You can take screenshots, you can write notes, but this is just to ensure we are all on the same page. So why Rotary and what is Rotary? In a few statements, and the first one being that Rotary's vision statement is that we see a world where people unite. So in the formation of a Rotary club, we come together, we unite, and not just for the purpose of uniting, but we unite and take action. We take action, not just any action, but action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. The last three parts are very important for anyone who misunderstands Rotary. We are creating lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. It's all three aspects. Mostly what is publicized is the change we create in our communities. But I think the more you understand Rotary, the more you understand that Rotary's immediate impact is in its members, I mean. And then we have had scary projects such as eradication of polio. So creating lasting change across the globe is actually very valid. So please note this, and anytime anyone asks you what Rotary means, you may just summarize it by the vision statement. We see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. The other very famous description of Rotary is service above self. So Rotary actually has two mottos. The most prominent, or the most known, or the most famous is service above self. And that embodies the change that Rotary creates in communities. We serve beyond ourselves, above ourselves. We give not limited to what we have, but as much as we can and within the blessings that we have. So service above self. The less known motto, but it's an official motto, is one profits most, who serves best. It's the physics equation of action, reaction. One profits most, who serves best. And to fulfill our vision and our motto, Rotary has 4 strategic priorities. These 4 shall be repeated throughout this discussion. And the first is that we increase our impact in our communities, increase our impact in ourselves, increase Rotary's impact across the globe. So again, 3 aspects: increase Rotary's impact in our communities, increase Rotary's impact in its members, increase Rotary's impact across the world. Because Rotary is in more countries than the UN. That's a verified fact. Second priority is to expand our reach, to always be welcoming to our membership or to guests. So expand our reach means expand our membership. Enhance participants' engagement means that members are not only members, but they are engaged. They enjoy being in Rotary. They are proactive in leadership, and they feel the value. They understand the value. They gain the value of Rotary. And finally, to increase our ability to adapt, thanks to COVID, thanks to a lot of other things that are forcing us to change the way we do what we do. So this will be repeated severally across this presentation. And hopefully, as you internalize what Rotary is, think of how we can increase our impact, think of how we can increase and expand our membership, think of how we can ensure every member of Rotary enjoys Rotary's value, and also think of how we can continuously adapt to this changing environment. How we do this is through 5 areas or 5 avenues of service. If I'm too fast, kindly stop me. Again, this presentation is being recorded. We'll share slides. But yeah, if I'm too fast, if I need to clarify anything, feel free to stop me. I tend to talk fast sometimes. So 5 avenues of service. I'll explain one by one so that we understand all the 5. Club service is, we start by being the 38, 40, 50 members of Rotary Jabali. And every one of us is a volunteer. So how we build this club is up to us. It's not up to one specific person. It's not up to any 2 people. It's up to every one of us to bring their skill, their ingenuity, their connections. If you know someone who sells suits, you recommend us to go by for charter, you know. So every one of us has a role to play. That's club service, how we build this club together. Vocational service is the skills that you have can be of service to our club, but also can be of service to our communities when we are doing our projects. But also vocational service means that we respect each one of us because every one of us has something to bring to the table. We have a skill, we have a different occupations, we know something that someone else doesn't know. And also be willing to learn and respect everyone in their different spaces. So that's vocational service. So it has 2 sides. Enhance respect for everyone, regardless of their occupation, and also bring on your skills to serve our club or to be of use when we are having community projects. Community service is pretty much self-explanatory. We all know that bit of Rotary. International service is Rotary is in more countries than the UN. There are Rotary clubs and Rotaract clubs in probably every continent, every country you'll find on this face of the earth. So international service is 1, appreciating diversity, race, religion, you know, all the diversities across in this world, but also partnering with clubs within our borders and beyond our borders for projects. So that's international service. And youth service is what Rotary calls the future, and that is Rotaract, Interact, and programs such as Exchange and RILA. So youth service is looking at, quote unquote, the pipeline of Rotary membership shall come from former interactors, former Rotaractors, former exchange students, and such kind of thing. So another way to look at Rotary is through these 5 avenues of service, and internalize them as we go along. And each one of them has a director in the club. You'll see that a bit later on. And community service is divided into 7 areas of focus. So please take a screenshot of this. I might not explain each one of them, but when Kennedy invites you to the community service committee, we are looking at creating projects focusing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or all 7 areas of focus. It's definitely crazy to come up with a project that focuses on all 7, but at least 1 or 2, 3 or 4 or 2. So everything we do in Rotary, you must be able to find some space around it here. The least common projects are on peace and conflict resolution. Reason is probably we are not able to craft projects around that, but probably also our country is relatively safe if you compare it geographically and politically to other countries. But yeah, the Russia-Ukraine war is a case in point, and Rotary has been very engaged in that, in the resolution of that. Don't quote me that I say the otherwise. In the resolution of that conflict. Yeah, so all that we do in community service, all that Kennedy Macau's team shall be doing in this year and future years shall be around these 7 areas of focus. All that club service or family of Rotary or the Sherehe Club, the Sherehe Committee shall be doing is around ensuring that each one of us in the club feels appreciated, is engaged, is having enough fun, that kind of thing. Vocational service cuts across what Elvis, as director of Speaker Secretary and Director of Vocational Service, shall be doing, but also cuts across community service. International service is when we partner with other clubs. Youth service is when we support Rotaract, Interact, RILA, Exchange, and such kind of thing. So those slides explain a bit of what Rotary is. Again, this may not be very comprehensive, but on a very high level discussion point, please raise a question anywhere you may not be clear. But I'm just helping paint a more round picture of Rotary. So let's come to the very technical or boring part, is how our leadership structure is. It's very complex and can never be summarized in one slide. But these are the 5 things you need to know. The most important person in Rotary is a Rotarian. But since you can't form a club alone, we come together and form Rotary Jabali. So every Rotarian is a member of one club. You cannot be a member of 2 clubs. You cannot be a member of 2 Rotary clubs. You can be a member of Rotary and Rotaract, but not 2 Rotary clubs. So every Rotarian belongs to a Rotary club. Ours is Rotary Jabali. And then when you put together about 100 clubs, they form a district. So when you put together about 100 clubs geographically, they form a district. The current trend is that districts are mostly formed by a combination of countries, but where Rotary is, Rotary's population is very high. Say in Kenya, where at the case in point, maybe sometime we'll have 50,000 Rotarians, will have to be divided maybe by counties or districts, or no, counties or sub-counties. So if you go to the US, you'll find a single town has very many districts, or say Germany has 17 districts. Egypt is a district by itself. Nigeria has 4 districts because their population in Rotary is very big. So there are more than 100 clubs, so you're divided. But Kenya, we are not too many. So Kenya, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and Eritrea form 1 district. 9212. 9212 is just but a number. You must not cram it. But we form 1 district as the 4 countries. Then so a district is about plus minus 100 clubs. A zone is plus minus 35,000 Rotarians. Again, geographically, there are 34 zones across the world. All of Africa, except those 3 countries, form zone 22. Zone 22, again, is just a number. Don't cram it. Zone, all of Africa except Somalia, Libya, and Sudan. Sudan is part of a district zone in Middle East. Libya and Somalia, I'm not sure they are Rotary clubs. And if they are not active. Then finally, RI, Rotary International, is when you put together all these Rotary and Rotaract clubs, you form Rotary International. These 5 levels or 4 levels have so many titles and acronyms that with time, you shall get to understand them. Again, don't go cramming them. With time, you'll get who all, because these are leadership. It's a leadership structure. So there are leaders at every level. So today we shall only focus on the leadership of the club, which is very simple. To start off, you're either a friend of Rotary. You're mostly a friend of Rotary. You know about Rotary, you care less about Rotary, but you attend a few fellowships and you show up in a few events. You're a friend of Rotary. You contribute to a project here and there. We can count on you. Sometimes you don't understand what's happening in Rotary. We'll call you a friend of Rotary. Then when you show intention to be a member, you become a guest. This means you are now in the process of being a Rotarian. And the club, you have shown interest in a club. You let the leadership know that you want to be engaged as a member, but that induction is yet to happen. We'll call you a guest. You can say all of us are currently guests because we are not inducted. But we all those charter members will then be Rotarians as from 30th of July, or as when we get a charter certificate. It may be a few days before 30th, but the party's on 30th. So you become a Rotarian, and then there are a few obligations. And one of them is being member of a committee. I'll explain this a bit later. And then at any one point, we have a full board, and a full board has a couple of directors, has a secretary and assistant secretary, has a treasurer and an assistant treasurer, and has a presidency. A presidency has a president-elect, a president nominee. And after our first year, we'll always have an immediate past president. So at any one point, you're either a Rotarian, just a member, you have joined a committee, which is very, very important, or you are a member of the board. If we are a good club, we should never just have members. So at any one point, you're either in the board or you're a member of a committee, and that's a proper club. So finally, a summary of all that I've said so far is we are Rotary. We are people of action because we come together, we unite, and we take action to create lasting change across the world, across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. So we connect. So this is a photo of anyone who doesn't know Feni. This is Feni. This was an event in Ethiopia, so you'll note some Ethiopian faces and people across Africa, because there's a Uganda, there's a Tanzania, and a lot of Kenyans. Yeah, this was a complete elite sherehe, kind of what you expect at our charter, just that now you shall be suited up. The second photo is our first event or second event. You might see Gaia, who is a bit cropped. Vicky, Gakenyi, that should be Gathaga. This is Irene. A lot of people are cropped here. I can see Gadua, I can see Melissa, I can see Mutia, Eric, and I am forgetting his name. Hopefully he's not in the meeting and he'll not remember. Anyway, yeah, so we connect, we come together, and we come together to create lasting change. This is a project where a Rotary Club in Kenya sank a borehole for a community in the north, and you can see women dancing for the first time. They have water near their homes. And this is the photo says mentor, but here we're just beginning sherehe. We were at Masingala's place earlier this year. And I think this is one of the very well attended events we had in Jabali. So let me try and, okay, not let me, but listen to these two videos and let me see if we also summarize part of what we've said so far.
Recording in progress.
We are Rotary. We are action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org. Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. Around the world, generations of leaders build new friendships and solve problems, turning great ideas into reality. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org. Our connections make powerful things.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills and resources to solve issues and address community needs. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org/action.
Okay. So at this point, let me confirm we are all together. So anyone with a random comment this far? And everyone was silent. Means either of two things. Doesn't make sense yet, or makes sense 100%. Or probably no one is listening.
Makes sense.
Melissa, Ben, thank you. Yeah, so let's now get to the real reason why this club assembly was very important. is one, we hope every one of us shall be a charter member. That's our hope, and I think that's my hope, and pray the board accepts the same position, that every one of us here shall be a charter member and a lifelong Rotarian at Rotary Jabali. So, as has already been said a lot of times now, we have our charter on 30th of July of this year. The date is confirmed. The time is also confirmed. The official part starts from 6 p.m. ends at about 10. Again, I think with Rotary Jabali, we've learned not to say when it ends, so let's say 10-ish. The theme of the party, the dress code, Edwin, black tie. Black tie does not mean that you should be in a black tie. There's a whole committee that will be explaining what black tie is all about. But if you are clueless like I was, just Google black tie event or dress code black tie. It's an official kind of wear. The venue is also confirmed. The venue shall be 67 Airport Hotel along Mombasa Road. 67 Airport Hotel along Mombasa Road. The officiating officer shall be then District Governor Azeb Asrat. She shall be a district governor for 2022-2023. Remember the district? 100 plus or minus clubs form a district. So a district has a leader. The leader is a district governor. Azeb Asrat will be a district governor from July 2022 to June 2023, and she'll be at our charter to officiate our charter and to install our charter members, and also officiate the charter, induct charter members, and install the charter board. So Azeb has confirmed about 2 months ago. So Azeb shall be present, and the latest news is that we have a keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker shall be Patricia Ithao. Patricia Ithao is the CEO of WPP Scan Group. She's also a board member of KEPSA. She's a board member of Absa Bank. She is a board member of Trademark East Africa. She has a very long CV across many multinationals. But more importantly, she's the spouse to our district governor nominee. So again, district governor, and then at any one point, we have a district governor elect, district governor nominee. So Patricia is the spouse to our district governor nominee, Leonard Ithao. Just Google Patricia Ithao and you'll know we kind of got a big fish over there. So we have to be very careful with everything at the event. But yeah, Patricia Ithao shall be our guest speaker or keynote speaker at the charter. Kuna kitu nimesahau. Charges will be communicated in the poster that Mutia is getting us. Charges and how to pay. We have a club till number now, so stop using Priscus number. Amesema tumefika M-Pesa limit. So yeah, so our charter is happening, but for the charter to happen, we must have charter members, and I hope every one of us shall be a charter member. How is Jabali? Why is Jabali the club you'll join? Why is Jabali different? And this is just my thoughts and our thoughts on what we've discussed this far. As a new club, we're building a club from scratch. It's a little chaotic, it's a little difficult, it's a little boring. It's a little many things, but I think it's worthwhile that you shall remember, you shall be a member of a club that you've seen the beginning. And in 20, 30, 40, many years to come, we'll say, this is the baby we raised from scratch together as Rotarians. But also we'll be the youngest Rotary club in terms of average age. our age spread is between 24 and 40. That's an average of about 30, 31. The average age in Rotary in Kenya is 42. The average global age is, I think, 58. So we are by far one of the very youngest clubs. So we have the opportunity of creating lasting friendships and memories with peers for many years to come. And Rotary has a way of attracting guest speakers and leaders. You would have to pay a lot of money to listen to. Personally, I've only listened to Patricia Ithao through Rotary clubs. I don't think there's any industry event she's speaking in that I can currently afford, truth be told. So that's the kind of opportunity you get through Rotary, but also to expand your professional network and your business prospects. There are a lot of stories around this, and I think as we grow, we'll share personal stories of how Rotary has done many things for each one of us. And finally, like Rotary is known for, you have the opportunity to serve your community and create lasting impact. And there is a quote, I'm not sure by who, that a Rotarian does not need to worry about whether he or she made a difference in the world when, okay, this sentence was, okay, yeah, when on his or her deathbed. So you have an opportunity to create the change that you want to see. You have an opportunity to impact a child's life, a school's life, or, as much as you want to do. And I think the benefit of building this club from scratch is that we are creating the Rotary experience that we desire. So we are welcoming all ideas. We are listening, we are trying, we are failing, but we're also trying. So when we fail, please remember we're in the process of trying and correct us, pole too, as we try build Rotary Jabali. I think it's a worthwhile experience and a worthwhile adventure to join as a charter member. So how to be a member? For anyone who is not a charter member, or for everyone who is already a charter member, you have attended more than 4 fellowships or activities. You have attended a training or 2 or 3 by now. So we've done all these Rotary talks we do, and not because we didn't have another speaker we could get, but because we want people to be all on the same page. So such kind of, when we invite Yinka, when we invited Eric to speak, a training must not be a sit down, but telling of stories of Rotary experiences, in my opinion, is a training. Because you get to hear from people who've been there, done that. They definitely know what Rotary is about. And I think at the very start, we had a very formal training, Rotary 101. It's done for all clubs. And we need to tick that box so that we are not, the district doesn't look at us with a bad kama watu wabaya. You hopefully must join the board or a committee. So this is really important, but I'll explain about it later. Then there are some district thresholds that I think we are currently implementing. So if Gaia texts you, don't critique him, but just to ensure that we are doing things right. And you pay a membership fee of 3,500, charter fee of 3,500, which every charter member, 40 people have paid so far. And if you wish to join as a charter member before then, just to ensure all this are done and the board will approve in our next board meeting, tentatively on 25th of June, but this might change subject to confirmation by the board members. So this is how to be a charter member. Say you're not able to be a charter member, we still want members thereafter because we obviously want to keep growing our club. Same things, fellowship activities, a few trainings, but by then we'll have started projects, so participate in at least one project. Again, join the board or committee. I'll explain about the committees later. Be in compliance with a few governance and ethic rules by the district. Why we have 2 asterisks is because this is an ongoing process. And we have, again, 2 asterisks here because every charter member has paid 3,500. So we are having a discussion at the board last week, part 1, whether to be having a joining fee. But if we decide not or not, or whether to, that will be determined, and then you pay club dues. We'll discuss club dues in the next few slides. So how to join is easy. People do this very fast. How to maintain is a little hard. How to be a member for longer and forever is basically pay your dues, attend fellowships, participate in the club leadership. Pay your dues, we'll discuss. Attend activities, we'll discuss. Participate in club leadership, we'll discuss. And that shall be the end of this slides, end of this presentation. So pay dues. This we've discussed quite a few times, but just to emphasize and to make very clear, please take a screenshot of this and save it for future purposes. This will be the case at least for 2 years if RI doesn't move things here and there. So remember the leadership structure that we have, that a club belongs to a district. Our district is multi-country, and a district belongs to a zone, and then finally Rotary International. So everyone across the world pays the first 4, 5. We pay dues directly to Rotary International. Then we pay $2 for Council of Legislation. This is the Parliament of Rotary, $2. Then we pay for a magazine. If you want a physical magazine, you pay $12. It shall be delivered by post on the postal address that you give us. If you pay $6, you subscribe to an online magazine that is emailed every 15th of the month before. So the July issue of the Rotary magazine will be out 15th of June. Has the most rich content you'll ever want about Rotary. And then we pay dues to the district, and then we pay dues to the country. 10 for country office, and then 10 for the Rotary Kenya biggest event called Sunshine Rally. So every Rotarian in Kenya, because of Sunshine Rally, will pay $124 if you subscribe to an online magazine, and $130 if you subscribe to a physical magazine. So $124.30. Then as a club, we have few expenses to cater throughout the year. So each member pays $34. This begins after charter. So this begins after charter. The dues were agreed by the members when we discussed the bylaws about last year, November or thereabout. So there was a very comprehensive process to come up with this. But really, the only difference we could make was around 34, because the 124 is we collect but pay to other organs of Rotary. So I hope this is very clear. 124, we pay. Yes, you pay to the club, but we use none of that. We just forward. Just that we collect at club level, we forward to the country, we forward to the district, we forward to RI. And then 34 shall remain in our club kitty so that our admin expenses are sorted throughout the year. Admin expenses, again, not projects. This is just admin. Dues cater for administration of the club to ensure we are well branded, we communicate well, we pay for everything as a club. But again, none of this goes to anyone's pocket. No one is paid. And so at every year, we shall account for every single coin you've ever given to the club. So this is what is called Rotary dues. It's a very contentious discussion in Rotary. One, because I think one is people do not appreciate how this money is not in the club. We are ensuring the club is in good standing so that when you go out there, you can say a member of Jabali, which is a fully fledged Rotary club, has paid its dues, and have also supported the club in its administration so that the board does not have to go back to its pocket when it needs to do a few things. And again, every year, and the good thing of starting from scratch, we'll start together, and so we can account from now for every coin that we have as a club. And as charter members, you are part of the starting process. So at any point you have a question, please raise it. Finances can be very tricky. Anytime you see the club is deviating from this structure, unless otherwise approved in a club assembly or in an AGM, you raise your hand and say, I am not comfortable with what's happening. I have paid my dues, but I don't like how this is being reported or how this is being done. And you want to get an account of what's being done, so that if it's correct and probably you misunderstood something, we align. So please have 158 ringing in your mind at any one point anyone talks about Rotary Jabali dues. Why it's in dollars is because our Kenya shilling is misbehaving. So we don't want to risk and have a forex risk, dear auditors. So let's currently concentrate on the dollars, and then when the treasurer is billing or invoicing, she shall advise on the rate to use for the specific time. How shall we be paying this? I can see Jacinta wants already to pay. So how we pay this is, again, this schedule is approved by the board in our first meeting or our first training. So 158. It's payable. Let's start with at the bottom. It's payable in at most 3 installments. So you already know next year, 2022, 2023, Jabali will want $158 out of me because they have to ensure the club is in a good standing, but also to support the club admin kitty. So please, let's plan in advance. So 158 in both years. Again, this can only change if approved by the club in a club assembly or in a club AGM, or when prompted by Rotary International, because Rotary International can change the 71, either upwards or downwards, mostly upwards. But they only change with $1 or less, $1, $2, or half a dollar, nothing crazy. So in the next 2 years, we are working with 158. You can pay in at most 3 installments. Just ensure that $79 is in by this deadline, because by this deadline, RI or the district will be invoicing us. So that's the reason for the deadlines, because we shall be billed by someone else. So you pay to the club consolidates, the club pays outside. So just take the reason this was crafted this way is to ensure we do not, every charter member is understanding what's happening and we are all on the same page, so that we are able to settle what's required of us as a Rotary club, and also maintain our club running smoothly. And the reason dues is important is, as I mentioned, I don't think I will ever afford an event Patricia Itao is speaking at. Just look at the industry events and then see what's happening with the charges. I don't think I'll ever afford, or anyone will afford such a circle of friends without incurring a lot of expenses. So dues ensure we maintain our organization and we are able to benefit out of the very many benefits of Rotary. So that's PAP, pay your dues, attend fellowships, iko hapa. So as Jabali, we meet on Wednesdays every 2 weeks from 7:45 for 8 to about 9-ish, mostly 9:30, 10, depending on what's happening on the day. Another part is socials. So like we started last Friday evenings or Saturdays, we have a physical event, a social, to catch up, to enjoy, to connect, to connect with members and friends and such kind of thing. So socials, one of the reasons it's hard to be a Rotarian is because we have most Rotary clubs have physical fellowships on weekdays, and you have to cross town 7 times and still go back to work. But Jabali has adopted this model so far, and projects will come up very soon. But you can also make up in other clubs. You can go to other Rotary club fellowships and such kind of thing. And when you miss Jabali, say Gadua, who is in Turkana, though there's no Rotary club in Turkana, so that becomes a bit tricky. But when you're in a town that has a Rotary club, joining their fellowship, joining in their social, joining their project, you will all get member pins. So you just have to say, I'm a Rotarian of Rotary Jabali, and that's an icebreaker, and you have conversations going on. Or you can make up at a district event. There are so many district events, and I think if you're in our group, you've seen Terrell was, before he went to Shags, he was in Diani for a whole week. There's a zone institute for the zone. Currently, Gaia and Eva are at the Rotary International Convention. But any opportunity you have to attend a district event, it's not mandatory. But if you can, why not? It's a vacation, it's a way to connect with other Rotary clubs and enjoy life. And when we tracked how we've been performing, so we keep track of everything. There's a link Vicky has sent to the chat. We keep track of our attendance in every fellowship. So when we say 4 fellowships, we really do mean what we say. And when we note a member is absent, we shall always try to reach out. But actually, all the greens are very impressive numbers for a Rotary club to be starting. So we started the first meeting of Rotary, then we had no name, was on 1st of May. I think I've seen people who are in that meeting are still here. I'm not sure if Wayaki was in the first meeting. I think Eddie was in the first. Elvis was not in the first. Edwin must have been in the first. Gatua was in the first. Muti, I think, came in the second. The second meeting is where we suffered. We had 6 people. But recently, in 2022, on average per month, we've been having 30, and I don't know what was happening in April. We had Yinka speaking, and people who registered were 51. But actually on Zoom, we were about 60 or 70 at some point. Then we went to Eric's place in Kipungori, and for some reason, people love milk. So we were too many, and Eric was very shocked. PDG Eric was very shocked at our numbers. And then we also had a club assembly in April that was members only. So some months we'll have 3 activities, some months we'll have 2. Say in June, we'll have 3 because we met last Friday, we've met today, and we'll meet on the 22nd. So we keep track of this so that we understand our club dynamics and we know which activities are attractive. So we kind of know Yinka's fellowship was the most, was up there. 42, what were we doing this fellowship? I think this is when we had a speaker on networking. That must have been it. This is Mercy's, when we were at Mercy's place, we were 37. We had targeted, I think, 25. Where 37 people came from, we were surprised. 46 must have been the fellowship on finances. 40 must have been last 2 times mortgage talk. So yeah, we understand these dynamics and then know what to look for and what not to look for. So we know not to have a meeting as 6 people. The more we are, the merrier, and the warmer as a club. So we track this. It's part of, after you pay your dues, we track attendance so that we also know what to schedule as a club. Elvis can know which speaker to invite. Melissa can know which social is working and which one is not. And Kennedy can monitor which projects will be attended and which ones will be blue ticked on the WhatsApp group. So all these are very important. That's why the board does a lot of work in the background, but it's all for ensuring that we give the Rotary experience that we all desire. Finally, please fill in the link that Vicky has sent to the group. Now that's the one that informs this data. And we also get feedback. I think so far no one has ever given us bad feedback in that form, but please feel free and let us know what we are doing wrong, and we shall always correct if we can correct, or if we're actually doing wrong. We are very receptive people, I promise. Finally, these are the people in the board. These are the people who will be leading us in the next year. I promise these are the photos they said best represents them. But if you've not met them personally, the charter party is going to meet all these faces. I am sure Terrell will not be in that suit, but yeah. So this is the executive: myself, Gaia, Gakenyi, Valentine, Priska, Vicky, and Terrell. And we have directors, 7 directors: Melissa, Elvis, Kennedy, Mutie, Gracie, Francis, and Antoine. A full board of 14 ladies and gentlemen. And the reason we need to join at least a committee or 2 is because the board cannot deliver everything we hope to deliver by ourselves. We have put very scary targets for ourselves. So we need you to bring your ideas and contribute. So we've divided the club into 4 committees. And this is, I think, the very last slide. The first one is the presidency, the secretariat, and the treasury. Admin, presidency, secretariat, and treasury. They make the boring decisions of just the boring things of ensuring the club is running smoothly. But really, when you think of it differently, we ensure that whatever we promise, we do, so that we enhance our club's value proposition and also communicate our vision as a club. So we have a president, myself, president-elect Gaia, and president nominee Terrell. So at any one point, a thriving club has 3 presidents. At any one point, any one of them can step aside and you are covered by 2 people. I don't think at any one point any 2 of the 3 will go away, but at any one point we have 3 people to lead the club, and that's what is it called? Succession planning. So later this year we'll elect a president nominee after Terrell. So as I go away as IPP, someone comes in as president nominee, and the chain continues. Gakenyi is the secretary, Vicky is the assistant, Priska is the treasurer, Valentine is the assistant. So I think the executive is well constituted. Aya, kwa directors, hapa kuna shida kidogo kwa sababu hatuna assistant directors bado. So Melissa is our family of Rotary director. Family of Rotary is ensuring that we remain a family. We have socials, we can piga sherehe, we have charter events or installation events in future. We remain one family. So that's Melissa. Elvis invites speakers to our club, and this is the director of vocational service. Kennedy is community service. Mutie is public relations and communications. Grace is youth service. That's Rotaract, Interact, and everything youth. Francis is fundraising. Antoine is international service. I'm sure I've mentioned all these titles and roles in the opening slides. So we are looking for assistant directors. Let's start from there. So should you want to be an assistant in any role, that means should Antoine want to relax for 2 weeks, he has someone who can continue the role of international service. Should Francis want to run to Homa Bay for 3 weeks, he has someone in Nairobi who can run a few things for him. Should Elvis be in Karatina for a month, like he shall be or more, because of work, or someone goes out of town or out of country, we have someone who can ensure continuity in that role. So let's start from that point. We have a board, we'll want some assistant directors. And then should you not be in the board and should you not be in a capacity to join as an assistant director, please join any of the committees. I say please, but when Mutia reads the bylaws, he shall read as required. So each one of us is required to be in a committee. Again, everyone is on a voluntary basis. Everything is on a voluntary basis. So we do not want at any one point to overwhelm anyone. So when we work as a team, we are able to deliver better and experience Rotary way better. So please contact Terrell if you want to be in membership. Contact Kennedy Macau if you want to join the projects committee and fundraising. Contact Mutie if you are very good in communications and PR. But also these committees form subcommittees. So we have a charter coming up. Charter is ideally under club service. So there's a whole committee, I think of 17 people working on the charter. The chair of the charter committee is His Excellency Ben Kimani. Ben is not in the board, but when he was requested to be chair of the charter party, he was like, I have been waiting for this call forever. So, but he has never planned any other event before that. Gives you the dynamic of it. So you have an opportunity to do something you've never done. And we promised Ben after this, he's planning his wedding. So, we give you free experience and then you take it on from there. Francis is looking for a committee to think of and to plan an annual fundraising event. We know of the Stanchat Marathon, we know of many annual events geared around fundraising. So Francis, our fundraising and TRF director, is looking for a committee that can help us plan an annual fundraising event around any activity. Say, what can we fundraise around? Not playing FIFA like Terrell recommended, but what idea can we have to piga sherehe and enjoy, but also raise a few funds for a project and that money shall be used up by the projects that we take up, led by Kennedy Macau. So think of how can I play a role? Mutie and the longest Innovation, Public Image and External Communications Committee will be looking at how do we tell Rotary Jabali story. So instead of someone looking from the outside in saying these people do not know what they are doing, how about you come into the Public Image Committee and help us tell the story of Rotary Jabali. So for every charter member, for everyone who wants to join Jabali, we request, please join a committee. But again, when it comes to the board approving membership, the board shall read bylaws as required. And also, this way we shall enjoy Rotary more. And you shall not, I think the experience with the members in the charter committee can share is you actually do not know when 2 weeks are lapsing between our online fellowships, because in between you've done a site visit, you have had a subcommittee planning meeting, and there's a lot of things happening in the background. So committees really help us run as a club. And if you forget anything I said today, please join a committee. And with that said, this is, I think, just about 1% of what Rotary is. So we'll have a lot of these sessions in future to mobilize, quote unquote, for us to go to Addis for the district conference, to tell us why we need to go to Melbourne for the RI convention next week, to understand the Rotary Foundation better, to understand how we can go for exchange. And Rotary is too big to be explained in a few slides, but I think I've I promise I've tried my best, and if I have erred anywhere, please raise a question. These slides will be circulated. This recording will be online. Anytime you have a doubt about anything, raise your hand. But if you forget anything, please remember to join a committee. And that way you shall enjoy Rotary better. Yeah, join a committee, and also please remember to, this invoice will come your way because Priska is a good person. She shall email you. Yeah, and again, if you forget everything, remember PAP, pay your dues, attend fellowships, participate in the leadership of the club. If you forget everything else, just come to our charter party. Questions, please. And let's all unmute and raise any questions so that we are all very much on the very same page. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And let's now make this more interactive and probe any slide that you think didn't make sense. And I and anyone else may clarify. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Mutia.
You can start with the question on the chat.
Which one is that?
How are the dues paid? Are they sent to the club treasurer to pay on our behalf? That's from Jacinta.
Priska is still in this call, I hope. Yes, Priska. Please help us respond to that. Since Priska alipotea.
Which question am I asking? Oh.
How shall we be paying dues? To you, to T-bill, to bank account? Or till number, not T-bill? Since Priska is, it's also her duty today in the kitchen. So I think so far the discussion is right after charter, we'll open a bank account. So currently we have a till number. However, I don't think we should be paying dues to a till number. So I think the best advice and what the board has communicated and decided this by is we'll open a bank account right after charter. And thereafter, I think every bank now has a pay bill or a till number. So we'll give a till number for dues. But anyone who wants to write as a check will definitely bank the check. Yeah, so we'll be paying to the club's bank account or the club's till number as shall be advised at the point of invoicing. Thank you, Jacinta and Mutia, for that. Clarifications, please. Let's talk.
Mwakio on the chat asks if someone can join the committee while away from Nairobi. An e-member, sort of.
Yeah, that's very, very possible. That's very possible. That's for one. We have quite a number of our members who are not in Nairobi. We have, I think, 3 so far, 3 or 2. I know Gathua is in Turkana. Gakenyi is in Taveta. So we are welcome to you joining us from wherever. Part of creating a Rotary experience is ensuring that we can connect with our members at any one point. So we'll have a mix of both physical and virtual events, also to balance between the convenience of virtual, but also the importance of connecting physically. So you can definitely join a committee from well away from Nairobi. And if you forgot, these are the committees. Please. This will be very important as we start off as a club. Very, very important. Questions, comments. Let's start with the people who haven't spoken today. I think I've not heard from Wayaki. President Kirai, welcome to our club. Wayaki, you can introduce yourself and make a comment.
Sam.
Yes, Terrell, that should be Terrell. Yes.
Mine is not really a question. It's just the members to keep referring their friends to join Rotary Jabali, and secondly to give suggestions on the physical meetings activities. We need to have a long list on when we meet, what do we do, or what will make us meet. Those interesting activities, except for those you said like FIFA are not good. The rest are, I mean, some good activities for us to meet.
Yeah, sure thing. Please give us ideas of what you want us to do over a social. I think we have the next suggestion was the next activity was already suggested. So please bring those ideas and Mel will make a whole list of what we plan so that we can plan in advance, communicate well in advance, so that you're not we do not create the fear of missing out in you. Yeah. So please always share ideas. Always share ideas. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, Terrell. Antoine, I think you came in late, if I'm not wrong. You can introduce yourself and tell us something or make a comment on any part.
Good evening, everyone. Pleasure to be here once again. My name is Anthony Murago, aka Antoine. And I'm an accountant by profession.
Anton.
Yeah.
Sema wewe ni Wajakoya wa Jabali. You forgot that title.
I don't do drugs. What I would say, it was a nice presentation. At least we are clearer now going forward and looking forward for the next Rotary year. I don't have a question as of now. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Antoine. Yeah, and probably just to add, the Rotary year begins in July. So as we chatter in July, we're actually starting our club on a very fresh Rotary year, and we'll have a full Rotary year next year from July to June, and then subsequently every year July, June, July, June. So every year we have a different board. The hope is, except the treasurer who goes for a 2-year term, we rotate the whole board in and out, so that we have different people experiencing different roles. Definitely there are roles where we will not circulate everyone out. Say president, president-elect, president nominee, that will be a 3-year cycle. Treasurer will be a 2-year cycle. But I think for every other role, we'll need to have the ability to have a whole new board or a whole new list of directors so that everyone is doing something, so that everyone have a taste of leading volunteers. I think you appreciate Rotary more once you serve as a director in whichever role. So that, and also that speaks to our membership. When we are 40, I think we are very comfortable, I'll say that. So means we can rotate 14 people. Actually, we can do 3 years without anyone being in the board for more than, we can do 3 full years without anyone repeating a role. And that will be very important. So you come in, serve 1 year, you take a break 2 years, come in another time, 1 year, take a break 2 years. And you know, that continuity, I think, is very important for our club going forward and as we start off here. So Wayaki, thank you everyone. Evening everyone. Sorry, I jumped into a work-related call. Pardon me on this one. The charter committee is doing a wonderful work, definitely. If you forget everything we said, just come to our charter party. That's the other message. Yeah, let's have some more comments. Edwin, Elvis, say something. Millie, Gakenyi, Grace, just unmute and comment. There's a hand up, if I'm not wrong, and that should be President Kirai.
Hi guys, President Kirai from the Rotary Club of Chico University. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say hi. And it's always a pleasure joining. It's always a pleasure joining your meetings. I'm in a family gathering, but I just had to join a Jabali meeting. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely evening. And obviously, when I'm done with campus, Jabali is the club I'm joining. Thank you.
Thank you, Faith, and that's the spirit. Thank you very much for joining us. Gathua, you want to say something? I'm a network Turkana Nimbaya.
Well, the network is not that bad. It's some good work so far, good progress noted from SK and the board, and we look forward the coming months, at least even after the charter, to keep up with the spirit. Thank you. Sasa naweza shuka kutoka juu ya mti.
Thank you, Gathua. Millie, the other most quiet person in our club is called Valentine. So Millie and then Valentine. Okay, since Millie is away, Valentine.
Okay.
Sema kitu.
I think that was a really nice presentation. Very informative. Watu wenye tulikuwa tukisema we are learning. I think after this we don't have an excuse, and I'm not the most silent, maybe online, I'm trying to warm up to everything. But that was a nice presentation. I'm also looking forward to the charter.
Thank you, Valentine. Mutia sikushtue, we shall protect you from Mutia and Priska and your longtime friends. Anyway, let's see who hasn't spoken more than twice today. Melissa, Gakenyi, Macau, Waimeri, in that order, hopefully.
Hi, SK. That was a very nice presentation. I really do not have anything to add, but yes, I'm excited about the progress we are making, and even as we work towards the charter party. Thank you and have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Melissa. Gakenyi? I think SA just not all these people who left us on call and went to cook. I think we'll collect quite a number of happy dollars every fellowship through that. Kennedy Macau, John.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'll say that it was an interesting session, and at least now I'm well informed about Rotary and the process of the charter, and I'm looking forward to the charter party. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I think it was a nice session, and thank you for sharing the work that has been going on so far. And I hope we can bring it home and have a nice charter in the next 8 weeks.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kennedy. Ben, I think there's a question that Jacinta asked in the chat and you didn't answer. You can make a comment and then answer Jacinta's question.
Jacinta, I'm happy to plan your wedding. I have now experience, just in case. But for me,
kwani naolewa tena
officially sasa.
Allah. Ben, go ahead.
But anyway, I'm also looking forward for the charter party, which I'm inviting everyone. The team behind it is a very present team, so guys come. It will be fun. There will be food. There will be games, and it won't be boring. You will surely have fun and learn a lot. And who are not members will be members, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Let's see who has not spoken. Francis, you have a comment. Edwin, Victoria, you can try speak. Francis, Edwin, then Vicky.
Okay, SK, I think at this area I'm not going to comment because Ben is yes or not soup, and Ben, you have to apologize to people's.
To be clear, I was not wedding her, as officiating.
Ben, I think
I'm
become
the minister.
controversial.
I'm the minister, not the mister.
All right, Francis, go ahead.
Okay, I can say at least now we are on a good page in terms of the club and knowing what is expected of us as members, and also appealing to those who are willing to be part of the fundraising team and put together something that we can be doing every year to at least raise funds for projects, because it is all about making an impact, making a difference in the society, in as much as we have fun while at it. So yes, those who would like to be part of that team, kindly reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. Edwin.
Thanks, SK. Yeah, I've been listening in, and that was a
very well put together presentation. Yeah, I think some of us can learn a lot about doing PPTs from you, clearly. Yeah, anyway, like, yeah, I guess, yeah, you have done like a very good expectation setting, and I think I will take up what you said and join a committee. Yeah, possibly the sherehe one. Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, it was nice hearing you.
Thank you, Edwin. Yeah, the sherehe committee needs a lot of ideas. Melissa is waiting for your DM. Vicky, you can try your voice besides the flu. Yeah, Vicky, sawa. Okay, anyone who hasn't spoken at least twice today. Priska, you've spoken once. Melissa has spoken twice. Millie, if you're back. Boniface, when shall you be joining Rotary Jabali?
Hopefully, I can say hopefully during the charter party, because I'm looking at the earlier shared venue, 67. It's just next door. They say a stone throw place. But I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Asante sana. Millie, you're back? Or can we now hand over to the SA?
Hi, SK, I'm back. Sorry, I had to pick a call, but good presentation.
Millie, I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I had to step away for a call, but I think this was a great presentation. Even for me, who's been in Rotaract for a while, it was good to get that refresher of what Rotary is about and just the progress towards the charter and all the plans for the charter party. So really looking forward to the charter party as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we'll end it at that. I'll circulate this presentation right after this. I'll just remove the two videos because they make this too heavy. But I think we'll upload the videos on YouTube and share the link. So thank you very much. We cannot do this as a board alone. The good thing is we've set ourselves very serious targets. So we shall always be crying for help, and we shall use every help we can get along the way. And we shall not be ashamed to ask for help. So join a committee. It will be really appreciated. Hopefully next year we can replace the whole board, the year after another we'll replace the whole board. And that way all of us shall serve Rotary Jabali. We shall grow together as friends, and 5, 10, 12, 15, 35 years from now, we shall all be celebrating the good things we've done over the years. Asanteni sana, and the rest of the session is in the hands of Sergeant at Arms, Melissa.
Thank you, SK. That great presentation. So without further ado, I'd like to take us through the session of Happy Dollars, where if you're feeling happy about something that happened either this week in your personal life or professional life, you can give a happy dollar, where in our case, a happy dollar is 100 Kenya shillings. So if you're happy about something or you just want to give, this is the time to do so. If you're also sad, you can give a sad dollar. And then why we give happy dollars is simply because the money that we give goes towards projects within the club. And yeah, it's also a way for us to just be able to interact, to share what went well or what didn't go well within our week. And yes, so I'd like to welcome anyone, if you want to give either happy dollar or a sad dollar, Yeah, you can just unmute, or also you can type on the chat box. Karibuni.
Let me start. I have two happy dollars. One is for, I think, all the two. One is all the people we've met, I think, over the last 1 week. Last Friday was proper, very proper. Yesterday at Rotaract Karura, a lot of things that cannot be said in public happened, and I think it was a very good fellowship. Yeah, so that's one, and the next happy dollar is for our charter. I think we have planned, most things are intact. We just need to fine tune. But if you miss our charter party, you shall regret forever. That one we can promise. Asante.
Thank you so much, SK. I'm seeing John in the chat saying a happy dollar for a nice presentation by SK. I'm well informed. Thank you, John. Victoria is saying mixed emotions dollar. I don't know, Victoria, do you want to tell us about that? Why do you have mixed emotions? What's happening? Vicky? Okay, she's preparing to speak. I think I'll give 3 happy dollars. One for the nice presentation by SK, and then the second one for the random meetup that we organized this weekend last week on Friday. It wasn't really planned, it was a random, and I'd like to also give another happy dollar for very vibrant members who are always willing to show up and help brainstorm with matters regarding fellowships and just meeting up with members. So 3 happy dollars, and thank you very much to everyone for their proactivity towards planning things and seeing them to fruition. That's a very nice and encouraging way to proceed as a club. So thank you. Anyone else? So Victoria is saying I'm happy but also sad because she's sick. So yeah, mixed happy dollar. Thank you, Vicky, and get well soon. Everyone who's sick, please get well soon. 5 happy dollars from Francis. He says, it's the first fun but informative club assembly. I agree. Thank you very much, Francis. 5 happies from Mutie. Thank you very much, Mutie. Anyone else who wants to give?
I think Ben wants to clarify that Motia is safe. Melissa, Ben's hand is up.
Oh, sorry, I can't see. Yeah, Ben, go ahead.
2 sad dollars. The first one, SK alitufanya mbaya with a meetup. Alafu the second one, kuna mtu anarudi soko huko kwa chat. So 2 sad for me.
Okay, Ben, thank you. Anyone else? Antoine is giving a happy dollar for last standing last Friday. Really? A happy dollar for today's meeting and presentation, aside for this baridi. So that's how many? That's 3 happy dollars, Antoine, right? Thank you. And then anyone else who arrived to the meeting after the introductions, please just volunteer your happy dollars. This is the time. Okay, so since we've had a very long, Mutie is nominating Valentine. Okay, so since we've had a very long session, I don't want to make it even longer. In case you have, if you want to give any happy or sad dollars, you can just indicate it on the chat box or directly just send it to Priska on the number that is highlighted on your screen. And thank you very much. Have a good evening. Back to you, SK.
Thank you, Melissa. I think you forgot to find Francis for promising us to come on Friday, and he didn't. Elvis, where is Elvis? Elvis was under very high demand on Friday, but he wasn't around. Macau is still around. Someone was looking for you. And now, since you didn't come, we cannot reveal who that is. Yeah, we let's see who else needs to pay a fine. Francis, Elvis, and Kennedy.
Yes, Kay, I can pay the fine, but you need to share the information, even if it's in DM.
Na ilikupita bana.
Even the fine inakupita.
Fine ya Priska na Melissa. Fine si maybe.
And then also, can we just pledge that once you're fined, please let's not laugh the fines off. We can't laugh them off every day. From today, please, if you're fined, hakuna kuonana nyuma ya tent, please just pay it. I'll just forward your names to Priska and she'll be expecting money. So from today, we're not laughing it off. Sawa. I hope everyone can pledge to that. I hope that's okay. I need one yes, and we move on from this.
Hapo ndo wana draw the line.
Jacinta amesema yes. So from today on, we're not laughing it off. If you're fined, you pay the fine. Yes, then we'll establish the criteria for how much these fines will be. But yeah, thank you. Thank you, SK. Hello, can anyone hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I think SK has a problem with his mic, but as he is reconnecting, I'm seeing Kennedy is also giving $3 for the fine. Oh, for the fine, okay, kesi imeisha. Yeah, so Priska, you'll receive $3 from Kennedy. Yeah. I don't know if SK has joined back.
Oh, chill. I was actually on mute all this time. You can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Back to you.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I was saying thank you for joining us this evening. Between now and charter will be a very busy time, just ensuring we tick all the boxes to plan the best charter party. But also part of Friday's discussion was, we hope everyone comes to the charter with a +1. A +1 can be your sibling, can be a work colleague, can be your neighbor, can be anyone. Just invite someone to the charter. Let people know about Rotary Jabali. I think I've been to clubs and a few, people actually really relate to Rotary Jabali. So we just have to share the news. As Terrell said, the more we tell people about Rotary Jabali, one thing, the more it becomes clear to you, and I have realized that for myself. So the more you understand what you're doing, because sometimes you're in the thick of it and you're not sure exactly what you're doing. So the more you explain it to someone, the more it's clear to you what exactly you're doing. And also the more prospects we'll have in terms of membership. So the more the members, the easier our leadership succession will be, the easier our committees will be, because there'll always be someone who can chip in. So yeah, the more the merrier. So come with a +1. Ben will tell us whether to pay. Ben niye mwenye budget. So Ben, I throw that back to you. You're the head of the budget, you and Priska, but I think that is would be a good thing to do. Come with a +1. Come with someone. We shall not misjudge anyone who that is. Francis, you can come with your nephew, niece, your sisters. Just to clarify, I know your sisters. Let not people comment about that here, but you might never know. Ben might also know your sisters. Yeah, so let's come with a +1. It can be anyone who accompanies you to the event. Antoine agrees that sisters are important. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us this evening. And may you have a very productive rest of the week. May you have a very productive rest of the week. May you enjoy what you do. I think for me, it's a very long week. Yeah, I hope we are not too many. May those who have a flu recover from the flu. Please avoid going out at night. That's how you get flus. Or yeah, please keep safe. Keep safe. The charter party is the one that you don't want to miss. So between now and then, please keep very safe. Thank you, and let's give a toast. I had my camera off all this time. I am using 2 devices, so it's a bit confusing. But let's give a toast to all the clubs represented here. I think that should be Rotaract Chuka University, and thank you, President Kirai, for joining in. And to Rotary Jabali, we give a toast to Rotary International.
Rotary and Rotary world over.
May the discussion about sisters and brothers continue. I can promise I'll come with, I have 2 sisters. One of them is introverted. She hates events. So I'll come with the more extroverted one. She'll be my +1. I think Priska can confirm that I'll come with my sister. Anyone else? And Francis also knows my sister. Yeah. All right. Ben.
If your sister wants to come with a +1.
we'll come 3 of us.
Introvert, extrovert, come, we'll convert them.
No, Mel, I've already clarified who my +1 will be. It's not too early. Natangaza msimamo sai.
Francis amepita na president.
Francis usiangushe club ya Chuka. They still need Kirai.
Francis, make sure you represented the men in this Jabali.
Francis, you are representing a whole club. Usicheze vibaya. Usichome tafadhali. Jacinta, whatever you had from yesterday, please forget about it. It was not a very good story. Antoine and Vicky might tell you a different story, but it wasn't a very good story. So that's all the information that can be shared publicly. Yeah. The DJ today was not tipped, so I don't think he's bringing back music.
DJ pia kwa comments.
SK, stop recording.
Yes, for
more. Mimi naona tu spotlight huko. How do you stop recording over here? Oh, nimeona.